Okay guys, little tutorial. I'm going to show you how you can actually post a product for sale on Shapeways. So first of all, I'm going to create a little ring. So I'm going to go in and grab a cylinder 3D here, and so I'm showing you the whole process basically. So let's go in here and take this. I'm going to initialize this and make it quite high resolution. So I'll make it on about 64, 128 on this. So I've basically, this is going to be a mandrel to cut the ring out from, and actually I might make it a bit more, 215, 246, 46. Yeah, so it's nice and smooth, crystal smooth. Yeah, not worrying too much about the H divisions here, but actually, do you know what, I could, because I could make that some of my ring pieces. So let's just make it, oops, let's just make this division none. Okay, so this is going to be a mandrel and it will be my ring piece as well. So I'm going to make that polymesh 3D. Okay, so I want the scaling of this ring to be about how many millimeters? I want the insert to be about 16 millimeters. So I want the hole to be 16 millimeters. So I'm going to jump straight into our scale master, and I'm going to say in here I want it to be millimeters, and I'm going to set the scene scale. So I'm going to hit that. It's going to go with me, yeah, 2 by 2 by 2, which is good, which is what it is, 2 millimeters. Okay, so now if I jump to the side view here and we go into our scale tool, or rotate or move, doesn't matter, and turn off the gizmo, I can come to the very edge here and I can measure across, and if you can see in the top left corner, it's 1.9998 millimeters, so 2 millimeters. All right, so with that done, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to scale this to 16 millimeters. So I'm going to come into my tool again, and I'm going to tell it that I want this to be 16. So I'm going to put 16 in here, and I'm going to hit enter. They'll all go to 16, and I'm going to resize the subtool. Okay, now the subtool is resized. If you look at our floor, it's really small. You can see it down there. So I need to just come in here and ZBrush scale unify. So that will unify the scene, but it will keep this tool at 16 millimeters. So if I measure across now, you're going to see that it's 15.99998, which is 16 millimeters. I'm going to turn the floor off now, and we're going to make a duplicate of this piece. So I'm going to come into the subtool, and I'm just going to run a duplicate in. I'm going to hit duplicate, and I'm going to rename that duplicate ring. Okay, this top one, I'm going to rename this as 16 millimeter mandrel, and it's worth saving this file out if you're using the same sizes, because then it's just going to be quicker. You don't have to run through any of that. So now I'm going to come down to the ring, and I'm actually going to turn the mandrel off, and I'm going to come into this, and I'm going to say how many millimeters I would like the actual thickness of the ring to be. In this case, 3 millimeters. So 3 millimeters one side, 3 millimeters all the way around. That's 6. So to make a 3 millimeter ring, I need to add 6 onto this, which will take this number up to 22. So if I hit 22 now in here and just hit enter, you're going to see that they'll all change to 22, and I'm going to hit resize subtool. This will give me a 22 millimeter diameter now, which is 3 millimeters outside of the 16. So if I put that there and I measure it across, you're now going to see it's 21.9997. Okay, so now I want to just make a change to this and unify it, actually scale it differently on the X. So I need to make sure that I turn lock ratios off, and I turn this off because if I leave it on, it will jump, all these will jump to the same ratio. So I'm going to turn it off there, okay, and I'm going to just now, sorry, I just realized I've done something wrong, but I'll talk to you about that in a second. Notice we've got all turned on. Now I should have turned this off, because what's happened is when I resize this to 22, the mandrel, because that all turned on, it resized all of the tools. So mandrel has now been resized up here to 22 millimeters. So I'm going to jump back to that mandrel and I'm going to turn the ring off and I'm going to resize this at 16. So if I come down here and I go slider to subtool size, you're going to see it's 22 millimeters. So I need to reset this back at 16. So I'm going to turn ratio on. I'm going to turn all off so it doesn't affect this ring. Really important, this. So let's set this at 16. Let's hit the enter and they'll all change. Now we're going to go resize subtool. There we go. So now if I jump between this one and this one, you're going to see that there's that difference of 3 millimeters between them. Right, jump back to this one. Now what I want to do is I want to scale it width, and I only want the now we've got the actual thickness, I want the actual width of it to be maybe, I don't know, 5 millimeters. So I'm going to turn off ratio, and on the Y I'm going to put 5 in there, make sure all's turned off, and hit enter. And now I'm going to resize this, and now that's going to give me a value of 5 millimeters. So go back into this, let's just check this. That's 4.99. If we check across here, we should still have 22. Yep. Oh, it's gone to 15. Why has it gone to 15? Not a problem. Set this 22, 22. Resize. Oh, might need to do this individually. 22, resize. Okay, so got 5, 22, 22. So to see what the subtool is, you just hit that one there, yeah? So let's go back in here, let's check it. Yep, 22, good. By 5. Okay, that's great. Okay, so if I turn the mandrel on again, which we've got up here, going to come out of solo, you're going to see that's cut through there. And if I did a measurement from this edge to this edge, that will be 3 millimeters. So I've created the ring, so it's 3 by 5. All right, so to cut this away and actually give me a ring, I could actually make a few more changes. I'll make a few more changes just while we're in here. I'm just going to add a little bevel to the edge. So I'm going to come over to this edge here on the ring. I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to go bevel. I'm going to go edge loop complete. I'm going to click in here and I'm going to drag, adds a little bevel. Come this side, add another little bevel there. Just click once and it will be exactly the same as the one before. Now I need to take this one away from this one. So I'm going to take the mandrel, I'm going to bring it down one, turn that one back on. I'm going to come into Boolean and then I'm going to hit this, and this will turn that off. That will then cut a 16 millimeter hole out of this piece. Now at this stage, what I can do is I could actually do a Boolean of this. But before I do that, or actually no, I will do that. So I've got this piece here. I can now go Boolean and hit the Boolean, make Boolean mesh. And what we're going to have up here is going to be a U mesh that's created that I'm going to append to the master sheet. So let me just append that in there. Go and grab that U mesh. If I go in that U mesh and turn the other two off, this is what we've got. And if you look at the geometry, it's actually put it all in and it's sorted it all out for us. It's still kept all of our poly groups, which is cool. And this is actually ready to export out. It's a watertight mesh. If I press the Control Shift and Alt and I click through here, you're going to see that it's actually watertight mesh. So let me just go down to the display properties, turn on double, so you can see the reverse, the surface reverse normals, and Control Shift click. So now I've got this little ring. When we know this is 5 millimeters by the width, we've got 3 millimeter depth, and we've got that cut out of 16 millimeters. Perfect. All right. So with that done, what I can do now is I can just hit the export, and I can export this, and I'll call it 16 millimeter no design ring. Okay, and it's an OBJ format, which will be fine. I'm going to go to desktop and I'm just going to save that out. That will appear on my desktop now, and if you want to, you can save this file. So I'll call it 16 millimeter blank ring, and that way you've got it. So if you wanted to reuse that blank ring, you could reuse it and you haven't got to do any of the work that we just did. All right, so now I'm going to exit out of ZBrush and go into Shapeways. Okay, so I'm on Shapeways website. Obviously you would sign up and make sure you're signed up, and as soon as you sign up you can go in and you can start to actually put your products up. So if we go to here over my little icon, you can see that we've got my 3D models and we've also got an upload. So I've loaded some models in here. I'm not really that bothered about it. I was just testing things out, done test prints and things. So you can see I've got some bits and pieces in here that I've designed as part of my jewelry class, which you can find the link below if you want to take that course. And I show how to make all these different pendants and bracelets and things. But if we want to upload a new one and sell it, we can go to upload, click that little upload button, and we can go and we can upload my model. So we just go to choose a 3D file. I'm going to go and choose that blank ring that we just created. I'm going to click open. It's quite a small file, so it'll open quite quickly, and that will bring my model into Shapeways. So we'll give that a few seconds. It's going to give us the size and the volume and everything else. Now we haven't done any cutouts, so if I did this in gold it'd be quite expensive. But that is our little model all uploaded. So it's also fixing the model if there's any problems for print as well. And it's also telling me here the materials that I could use to print this piece out and its cost as well. So it's giving me the machine space, which is 2.7, the structure, the bounding parts, and it's giving me my size as well. On the Y you can see that it's 5mm, which is what it was. On the X and the Z it is 22mm. So we got our 3mm gap there, and we got our 5 there. So that's all good. Now when you're selling these, you might want to do a test print, because then it kind of verifies that your model works. All right, just a tip there. Let me just turn that off. So if I was just printing in a versatile plastic here, which is probably what I do for a blank model, I don't need anything special, but you can see if you printed this in platinum it'd be £2,000. Wow. But I just choose that plastic there, and you've got the colors that you could print this out. So you could select a different color. Probably print out in a black or something. You can add a little bit X. Our smoothing finish is semi-gloss and has a good scratch resistance. Slightly textured surface to this. And if you want to print it out, you can go add to cart or continue to checkout. And then of course you could place your order and it gives you your shipping charges. Now I'm in the UK, it's got all my details there, so which I've blurred out. So you know, I'm paying that shipping price to have that shipped across. So I don't want to place my order, but I actually want to sell this on Shapeways. So now I've uploaded it, it's all ready for us to add as an item to the Shapeways site. So I'm just going to hit here. I don't want to place an order on this, so I'm just going to hit back to our print service. So we're back to here, and now let's go into here and down to back to our little icon, down to the my products. You need to set yourself up a shop and things like that, but these are some of my products in here, and you can go in and you can edit them and add to these as well. So now the good bit, actually adding it to your shop. So like you say, once you've set your shop up, you can view your shop in here and it'll show your shop. There we go. So I haven't spent any time on this, it's just there. And if we go into here now and we go to my 3D models, now because you already uploaded that model earlier, it's going to be available inside here. Here it is, 16mm. So you can go in here, just click this little icon and you can go create a product. So you can come in there and it's then going to open up another little dashboard, and it will be in here. So you can name it. So let's just call it plain ring. Okay, and then you can write a description for simplistic quality. This ring is a 16mm ring. Let's just put something like that. Okay, and then you can select category. So you can come down here, you can say which category it's going to be in. We want it to be in jewelry, and it's rings down there, so we're just going to put that in there. You can choose the type, so we can choose a band for it's actually for both, for men just, there's nothing simple here. Let's call it geometric ring size. So then you get your ring size, which would be the 16mm ring size. I don't even know what that is. I'd have to check it out. Let's just set something like that. I don't know. If it's adult content, then you check mature content and variants. So if you've got variants, I've only got one ring, so I haven't got variants. I'm not going to put anything in. Materials, you can say what material you could have this printed in. So we could go for polished steel, matte black, and you can say the default material there. So you can keep adding the ones that you want in the material. Let's just go to gold, you know, and they're there. And if you want it to be the default material as this, then you can click that. Okay, so it's got pricing and model. So under here you would go your base price and your markup. So this is the base price. This is what Udemy will charge, £15. And you might want to say, right, okay, well, I want a £5 markup on this. So every sale I want to make £5. So I'm going to come in here, if it lets me. So I want it to be in the image, so you can see what the image looks like in there, in that material. Or you can upload your own image. So if you get one printed out, you could upload your own image. But I can't seem to change the box. Not customizable. Okay, that's all good. Ah, right, sorry. Yeah, you just need to put your final price in here. So if it's 15, I want to make £5. I just put 20 in there, and that'll say your markup is the same. So I'm just going to copy this, copy. And this one, markup, I might want this at 540. Should give me a £44 markup on that. So when you're done, you can just hit, let's display to public, offer for sale to others. That's the actual model. So we just click to save there, and it should be done. Saved changes successfully. Let me just view the product. It's now based on you choosing the materials. It's now working and it's creating previews of all the different material types. So initially you're going to get this preview, will be up in a minute, and you're going to have that appear down there. which it will. So I'm going to leave this a second whilst it does that stuff. So okay, it's taken a while. If you hit the 3D here, you can see how it looks in one of the metal types, but you're going to see here it says not for sale. Now we need to just change that, so I'm going to go into edit product, which will take us back, and we should then be able to enable it. Display to public is on. Let's hit save. Okay, and I want to just come into my shop now, so I'm going to come into here. Just going to go into my products first of all. There we go, so there it is, it's in there. So I come back into here and we'll view the shop, and once we're in the shop we should have it appear, but it's not appearing, not yet. Okay. Right, I just need to do a display order. Let me just put this. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's put 4 in there. Save. Okay, and 5 in there. All right. Now let's view the shop now. Aha, there we go. So yeah, you have to put that order because that's the way it will appear on the screen. So I think it just needs a little bit of time to generate the actual 3D renders of this. So I'm going to just hit this to go into this product and just have a look, and you can see in there polished ring. These are the ones that we selected, 14 karat gold there. So you got that, and inside here you can turn to 3D and actually move around the ring, but you can also buy it as well. You've got the price there, that gold one, and we've got the price of that matte one as well, which was just £24. There we go, that's the description for simplistic view, blah blah blah. So yeah, so basically in those areas you go to view shop, that shows the shop, so you can go in there. Make sure you refresh it a few times, it does take a little while to upload. And inside here we have all those rings, and of course you have the order in which you can place them as well. So maybe I'd make this one, select all, make that 1, let's make this one 2. So I come in here, 2, save, make this one 3, save that, this one, let's all 4, and this one, let's all 5. That's good. So I could come into the shop now, view shop, and I should have it all sorted in that order. Remember to press the control key and refresh to get it to refresh. Oh, it doesn't appear in that order, but it's there anyway. Okay, so hopefully that sorts out. I haven't played around a hell of a lot with Shapeways, just get things, I just upload things, get things printed out, but hopefully that'll help you with selling your actual